team.
Welcome to the Sonic Adventure commentary with me, Skully the Metalhead. Today is the first day of January in 2018, or at the very least it will be by the time this is uploaded. And for those of you who have been familiar with my channel for some time, you probably expected this to be coming, probably a lot more sooner than you probably should have gotten it. But anyway, Sonic Adventure for the SEGA Dreamcast. The real version of Sonic Adventure, none of that Sonic Adventure DX shit that everybody was apparently raised on. Yes, gonna kick off 2018 with a bang, and to complement the Summer of Sonic 2018 marathon, which is gonna run a lot longer because these games are a lot longer. Yeah, Sonic Adventure. It's gonna be a fun ride, I hope. Speaking of which, I hope I don't have to bring out the tangents, because I think I'm familiar enough with Sonic Adventure to know what to do, but in any case, here's a cutscene. Catch you then.
Oh yeah! This is happening! Huh? What's up?
You are completely surrounded! Surrender yourself! Lock on target, men! Ready? Fire! Oh no! Our weapons are useless! Retreat! All personnel, fall back!
Oh yeah! This could be fun!
And so, we kick off instead of having a level first off, instead we have a boss fight against Chaos Zero. Now, this boss is actually pretty easy to take out for most people. You press the the A button twice to do a homing attack, and of course you can, just launch into Chaos and take him down with ease. 3 hits and you've got him. Yeah, Chaos Zero is pretty piss weak, but then again, since it's the beginning of the game, it's kinda to be expected. And to think that people wanted Chaos Zero on Sonic Forces, oh man, would have been an intense boss fight there, let me tell you. Jesus Christ, man. Fucking... again, not gonna pollute this with negativity because, you know, I kinda like Sonic Forces, but anyway, I'll get into that after the cutscene.
Come on, you big drip! Where you going?
You know nothing, fool! It's Chaos, the god of destruction! Ha 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 ha!
Huh? What? Tails? Watch out! You're gonna crash! Ah! Tails! Now, what am I gonna do with you?
And so, now we jump into the game good and proper. This is Emerald Coast, and well, we have a little bit of plot. We have a mysterious creature of chaos, we have Dr. Eggman sporting a fancy new redesign, and one that I prefer, to be perfectly honest. And of course, first level of the game, and oh, here we go. It's well, I guess to some people who actually played this, it's 1999/1998, and for me, 2010 all over again, because oh, the day I first played Sonic Adventure was fuck, man. Like, I mean, if you saw my reactions to this game back when I first played it, you could have sworn that I had time traveled all the way back to 1998 and I was seeing this game for the first time, because this game honestly blew me away. And playing through this level, god, man, I was just... Again, I can't say like I'm ever in a constant state of nirvana whenever I play video games, and in fact there's only very few that I can say, but Sonic Adventure, god damn, I was just sucked into this game's atmosphere from the moment I started playing. Like, Jesus. Look at this. Like, I mean, say what you will about Sonic Team, man, but this game just perfectly put across the environment, or at the very least the atmosphere, that, yep, Sonic is back, and this is the game that is there to launch it for a new generation. God, this is fucking beautiful, man. And again, I know a lot of people are probably looking at me thinking, what the hell, these visuals have aged, the gameplay has aged badly, and Sonic is not good, so you suck. But honestly, man, I'm just... Like, again, I'll probably get into this a little bit later, and probably during the review itself, but there's just something about Sonic Adventure which just has this... Like, again, I coined the term in my Gex 3D Enter the Gecko review, but it has this gecko effect about it, which just... Oh, God, it just kind of immerses me in the atmosphere of the game, and that's something that I'm probably going to be saying a lot, but Jesus. I'm falling in love with this game, all over again. But in any case, Emerald Coast, in terms of the level itself, again, very good introductory level. And again, I say that mostly as, in terms of its atmosphere, excuse me if I'm being a bit distracted, my computer is kind of chugging for a little bit. What the hell's going on with the music? Well, there goes the music, that's a little bit glitchy, but anyway. Well, that's a bit distracting. No, I guess Sonic Adventure is the worst game ever now, 0 out of 10. The glitches is not good anymore because the internet told me to. Anyway, I'll try and distract you from that. Okay, that is getting seriously fucking distracting now. There we go, what the fuck was going on there? Okay. Okay, I don't understand what the hell's going on there. Great start. Great fucking start. The music just... Okay, it's... What is going on with this fucking level? Okay. Like, I gotta recenter myself, man. Is it... Okay, well, that just completely destroyed my bloody tangent, but, I don't know what's going on anymore. Ugh. Yeah. Emerald Coast, I swear to God it's a good level. Even in spite of... I don't know what the hell happened there, I'm so sorry about that. But anyway, we have saved Tails from his apparent annihilation. Goody goody gumdrops.
Hey Sonic! Long time no see, huh?
I'm just glad you're okay. What happened anyway? You're too good of a pilot to just crash like that.
That was a test run using a new prototype propulsion system. It's got a few bugs to iron out.
Why not just use my plane, the Tornado?
Thanks, but you gotta check out my newest power supply. Ta-da!
Whoa! A Chaos Emerald!
Yep, I just happened to find one of the Southern Emeralds during one of my test flights. This thing's got unlimited power, you know. So I figured, why not use it to power my plane? Supercharged! You gotta come over to my workshop, Sonic. I've got something I've gotta show you. It's in the Mystic Ruins. The fastest way is by train. Let's go!
And so, now we get to the next part of Sonic Adventure, which is basically the main hub world of the game. Yeah, pretty big change up from the classic games for those of you who are only familiar with Sonic the Hedgehog's 1 through Sonic and Knuckles. Yeah, Sonic Adventure goes for a little bit more of a slight RPG styling, which is actually tied into the game's history that I'll cover later on. And yeah, this is Station Square, as you can tell by the amount of giddiness as I jump around the hub world. There are 3 hub worlds throughout the game, or 4, or a couple of which if you're willing to count the Chow Gardens. But yeah, Station Square, probably my favourite. Then again, I've always been a sucker for the city slicker environment. And the next one we will actually be getting to right now, the Mystic Ruins. The Adventure Fields. Again, Mystic Ruins I'll get more into as we play the game, but yeah, hub worlds. Pretty divisive among Sonic fans actually, but I'll get into that after the cutscene.
If it isn't Sonic!
Look, it's a giant talking egg!
Silence! I am Dr. Robotnik, the greatest scientific genius in the world!
Whatever you say, Eggman!
Enough! I've got big plans! And now I'm gonna put them to work!
You're always up to no good. Now what do you want?
I want all of the Chaos Emeralds! Better not interfere! Or else!
Or else what, you big loser?
Or else I'll take them from you by force! The hard way!
So, we now get to our the first boss of the game. I was mixing up my sentences there. The Egg Hornet, a boss design that I actually kind of like in terms of Eggman's mechs. Again, love the fact that it shoots missiles, and, well, the fact that it has a giant dual attack, which is pretty cool. The only weakness is that you can actually very easily cheese this boss using the homing attack if you can spam it, and you can actually kill him in one attack pattern, I believe. If you're quick enough, that is. But yeah, one thing I probably should have mentioned as well, especially given the influx of cutscenes that you've already seen thus far, Sonic Adventure is actually a very chatty game compared to its predecessors. A lot more cutscenes, lots more story packed in, which is, I'd say it's probably a... what's the word I'm looking for? I'd say it's probably a point of contention for some Sonic fans, given that... I think it's, especially with Sonic Adventure, given, you know, the rather radical departure for a lot of people, given the whole redesigns and the shift to a more realistic art style, even though arguably that began with Sonic and Knuckles. Yeah, point of contention for a few people, but again, this is the game that I honestly think really needed to be made in order to relaunch the game for the next generation, and honestly, again, if you couldn't tell by my the excitement in my voice, Sonic Adventure is a game that I love a lot. And I will elaborate further as we go on throughout the game. Fortunately, there are so many cutscenes getting in the way that I can't explain it, but I will show you after the cutscene.
Well, that wasn't so hard!
Aha!
Oh no!
Come on, Chaos! Time to eat!
Oh no, isn't that the same monster I saw the other day?
Oh, yes! It's just as the stone tablets predicted! His strength increases every time I feed him a Chaos Emerald! With all 7 emeralds in him, he'll be invincible! And work for me! Together, we'll destroy Station Square! And on its ruins, I'll build Robotnik Land, the ultimate city, where I will rule it all! Come on, Chaos! Let's find another emerald, shall we?
Sonic! We can't let him get away with this, can we?
No way, Tails!
Without more emeralds, the monster can't transform, so it's up to us to get the emeralds before Eggman does, huh?
And so there's our main plot for Sonic's story, which, again, surprisingly, considering how a lot of people tend to despise the story-based games of Sonic the Hedgehog, or at the very least the ones that place such a great focus on it, yeah, Sonic Adventure, or at the very least for Sonic's story anyway, is actually pretty slice of life. Again, I don't necessarily mean slice of life in the anime sense, I mean more so in the sense of, you know, it's a pretty bare-bones story of, you know, Sonic fighting against Eggman, fighting for the Chaos Emeralds. There is this Chaos creature, which is a bit mysterious and is weaved into the background of each and every story, as you can tell by the character select screen at the very beginning. And, to be perfectly honest, it's a concept that I actually kind of enjoy. And especially with Sonic Adventure, a lot of its charm to me comes from the fact that it immerses you into the world of Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, it's not necessarily trying to do so in a big epic story, or at the very least, from the way in which the game starts off, because again, as you could probably tell, it seems very stock standard for our blue hedgehog again. Eggman's up to no good, Sonic has to go stop him, bada bing, you do the thing, whoa, that rhymed, and, you know, just get things done, and it's, I honestly think it's a pretty genius way to further introduce people into the world of Sonic the Hedgehog, which again, you could do so before with, you know, the manuals and everything, but considering the fact that it was the American canon beforehand, whereas, you know, with Sonic Adventure they wanted to reintroduce the Japanese canon to American viewers, so that typically tended to mean a lot of concepts like No More Mobius, the fact that Sonic's world takes place on Earth, he shares the planet with the humans. Well, okay, that one's a little bit debatable now, considering the fact that Takashi Iizuka has the whole thing on, you know, dimensions, and the fact that Sonic inhabits the human world and animal world, which is confusing because, again, I'm not necessarily sure whether or not they're doing it in, like, a similar manner to Sonic X, in the sense that, you know, there actually were dimensional barriers between, you know, Sonic's world with the Anthros and everything, and then there was a human world, which was, like, Station Square and, you know, Chris Thorndike and everything. I don't know, it's weird, but, again, that's just how the canon is now. Again, my only real thing about that is that I'm guessing that it might have something to do with the fact that there are certain countries which are inhabited entirely by, you know, anthropomorphic characters like Sonic, so, like, the more abstract Green Hill Zone looking areas, whereas the more realistic areas, you're like, you know, Central City, Station Square, Soliana, and Empire City are inhabited by humans, but, again, that's a lot of stuff that it's part of the reason why I would kind of like a Sonic RPG, you know, because that way you'd have an excuse to have the story focus be there, and, you know, alongside that you'd be able to flesh out Sonic's world. And by that I don't mean doing something as bad as fucking, you know, Sonic Chronicles. Which, you know, fair dues to trying to do a Sonic RPG, but honestly, BioWare, just, no, go away. Then again, I wouldn't mind a Sonic RPG by Obsidian Entertainment if it ever came to that. I don't know. Maybe it's because I want a Sonic game written by Chris Avallone, but I don't know. I'm just rambling by this point. Anyway, Windy Valley. Another stage that had me just going, whoa, dude, this is the most radical game ever. Honestly, man, like, it's a combination of the music, the very 90s looking visuals, like... Okay, I should probably go into some background history for me, specifically in Sonic Adventure. Contrary to popular belief, considering how much I go on about the Adventure days, this actually wasn't the first Sonic game I ever played. In fact, the closest I ever even got to Sonic Adventure was watching Sonic X when I was a kid. In fact, my entry into the Sonic series wouldn't be until later, but I will say that... actually, it was honestly, even when I was getting back into Sonic, this was the game that propelled me into full-on fandom mode again. But honestly, I didn't play Sonic Adventure first up. In fact, I played, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, and Sonic & Knuckles before this. In fact, hell, I even played Sonic Generations before this, so that kind of goes to show... Actually, no, I didn't play Generations before this, I played Colors, what the fuck am I thinking of? But anyway, Sonic Adventure. I will get into that. Actually, no, there isn't a cutscene after that. Sorry, a little bit rambly right now, and kind of excited. I'm sorry if my commentary makes absolutely no sense, but just excited. Excited! But yeah, in any case, Sonic Adventure. This is, well, this was my reason for picking up a Dreamcast, actually. Well, to be more specific, it was this and Shenmue that made me want to get a Dreamcast, because, you know, Sonic Adventure, it was a game that I actually didn't consider picking up until I, you know, got into the series again by rewatching old episodes of Sonic X. Then I got to the, you know, Sonic Adventure arc where they were adapting the whole Chaos thing, and you know, then I saw a lot of people saying, oh, this was an adaptation of Sonic Adventure. I was like, oh, Sonic Adventure. So I had a look, you know, at, you know, Let's Plays and stuff. The one that actually inspired me to pick up the Dreamcast version specifically was the YouTuber Scottish Duck 17. I think it might just be Scottish Duck now. I don't think he even does Let's Plays anymore, which is a bit sad, but yeah, he's the guy who, I think he did a complete Let's Play of the Dreamcast version, and that was the one that I wanted to pick up because, honestly, saw the first few parts of that, wanted to pick up the game, and I was blown away by it, so got a Dreamcast, got a copy of Sonic Adventure, and I fell in love with this game so much. God, and even just looking at this game, I'm doing post-commentary now, but I want to go back and play more. Which I need to do for the review, but again, I still need to finish Metal Gear, because I'm still doing the review at the time. So why am I recording Sonic Adventure when I need to do it, even though it is so very close to Christmas? Because I'm just like that, I'm so busy. Then again, I just got a second job recently, so I'm gonna be even busier. And the fact that I'm starting so much of this stuff, as well as, you know, Sonic Marathon, it's just gonna be good. It's still good, my sanity isn't frayed. But in any case, I picked up Sonic Adventure and had a blast with it, man. So again, I know a lot of people are probably going to be going, oh, well, this isn't the best game ever, you're not allowed to enjoy it because, you know, it's the Sonic and it's bad. And again, I do apologise if I'm going to be overtly positive throughout this whole thing. Actually, why the fuck am I apologising? I shouldn't have to pay the price for being happy. You don't know my happiness. You know, you're nothing. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, again, I might be incredibly biased towards this game, but that's only because I'm just wanting to have a lot of fun here. I really love the effect on the glass. I think they actually took that out of the DX version, which is kind of pish, really. Which again is something I'll probably get into because the Sonic Adventure DX port, which is the version that was released on the GameCube, as well as the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 versions, yeah, they took out, well, they changed quite a lot of the textures first of all, as you can tell by the more realistically grungier looking textures on the, you know, road and cars and everything. But they also took out like a lot of the sheen that you tend to get in a lot of the glass windows, and to be perfectly honest, I think the GameCube version / you know, the DX port just kind of looks inferior, which again, a lot of people would say no, since the DX version does add quite a few new features, to be fair, and you know, it is trying to some degree. And again, it's something that I'll get into the review, but I kind of feel as if the DX version probably could have improved. Like, it made some improvements, but I feel as if it could have done a little bit more. And something that I feel, honestly, had they put the attention to detail into it, honestly could have fixed a lot of the issues that people have with Sonic Adventure as it is. But in any case, it's just pish. Anyway, what we're doing right here in the Hotel of Station Square is getting another upgrade, which, again, each character has a specific set of upgrades. In the case of Sonic, it's the Lightspeed shoes, which you can see here, and unlike later games, you actually have to charge it up this time. And again, by getting the Light Ring here, I can't remember its exact name, but you basically get a less charge-up time, whereas later games would basically have it be an instantaneous button press, for better or for worse, because it's actually been rather patchy in some games, looking at you Sonic heroes. But yeah, in games like Sonic Adventure and Adventure 2, it honestly works like a dream. Actually, you know what, I'd even say that even in Shadow the Hedgehog, the Lightspeed dash actually works pretty fucking well as well. Can't remember if it's in 06, actually no, it is in 06, and I think it's over there. Worst it's ever been is in Sonic Heroes, which is just, I believe it was also in Sonic Unleashed and Generations, but I can't really remember how it was handled there. But in any case, we're going to our next level, Casinopolis, which is not to be confused with the... Actually, was it called Casinopolis? No, it was called Casino Night Zone in Sonic 2. Where else was it called Casinopolis? Because I recall it being used somewhere else, but... I don't know. Anyway, the aim of the game here is to win the Chaos Emerald from the Vault, which is rather weird, because you'd wonder why the hell Casino has Chaos Emeralds when they are seen as powerful, world-destroying things, and... I don't know, I think, especially by Sonic Adventure 2's time, it suggests that they've been held by guns, so... I don't know. Even then, gun wasn't even a thing, it was basically just the military at this stage. So, yeah, a lot of Sonic's world was yet to be developed, but there was, and again, especially in this game, there was, you know, a culture being developed around Sonic, which again, it's been divisive for a lot of people, since a lot of people think that putting Sonic in a human world has been, you know, completely ill-fitting, but to be perfectly honest, I kind of prefer it because it honestly makes Sonic kind of stand out, which again, to a lot of people is, you know, negative, since, you know, they think that Sonic should fit in with the rest of the Anthro world. And again, you know, part of the reason why I prefer him in the human world is honestly because, again, outside of the fact that it sticks out, I think it also kind of makes for a little bit more of an interesting culture, so to speak, because again, you can have, you know, like a realistically grounded setting, and you can also have, you know, your mixture between, you know, the fantastical elements like in Green Hill Zone, or, you know, what was it called, Mystic Cave Zone as well, you know, zones like that, but at the same time, you can also have some pretty cool looking realistic environments, which again, I feel would help in diversity in the level aesthetics, and, you know, at the same time, also kind of have a feasible explanation, because, like, again, if we are going to go into the hardcore science of evolution here, if you choose to believe that kind of stuff, you know, like, I mean, it's to say that, you know, seeing Sonic next to a realistic hedgehog is weird, but then again, like, I mean, you look at primates and, you know, apes and everything, you know, humans evolved from them, so I don't exactly see what's the big deal when we exist alongside monkeys, so, I don't know, it just seems like one of those weird contradictions that a lot of people don't really tend to think of and just seem to shake off purely because of generational gaps. Which I mostly say is a divide between people who grew up with, you know, some of the more obviously westernized Sonic media compared to people who grew up in the 2000s, which, you know, adventure games, Sonic X, I guess are more of an anime aesthetic, so to speak. Though I'd say Sonic, especially during this era, it's ended to cross the balance between shonen anime and, you know, a lot of the extreme, dude, totally radical kind of stuff that was going on in the early 2000s, you know, like with, I guess, a lot of the culture going on at the time, you know, like Triple X, or, you know, Extreme Ops, or, you know, those kinds of action movies. I don't know, it's a sign of the times, to be sure, but honestly, it maintains so much of the Gecko effect that I just can't help but love it, man. And of course, now we have to be reminded that Yuji Naka worked on Nights. Thank you, man, because it's not as if, you know, we're reminded that you worked on Nights every single other fucking Sonic game. Don't get me wrong, like, I mean, I enjoy the concept of Nights. I've never played the game, obviously, since I don't have a Sega Saturn, and, you know, honestly, I would like to play it someday, but I have seen a fair bit of Nights, and, you know, I like the games decently enough, but, God, Sonic just abuses Nights constantly, man. Like, I mean, show a bit of love for Burning Rangers, for Christ's sake. Burning Rangers was sick. In fact, why don't Sonic Team work on another game? That'd be pretty cool. I'm pretty sure they've always had the, you know, RPG/survival horror/action game they've always wanted to be working on, but nope. Have to work on Sonic because it's the moneymaker, because it's called Sonic Team. I don't know. But anyway, this one you basically get rings by getting cards, I guess. Anyway, now it's time for references, as you will see as Sonic soon drops down. Enjoy the reference, fans. Whoa, man, that was trippy. Anyway, now we get our complete Nights reference as we see Nights just kind of dancing around. Yes, Yuji Naka, we know you worked on Nights. Please shut up. You've worked on other stuff as well, man. Okay, I promise I won't show off too much of this. Again, I think this will generally be the last segment, because I don't think you guys just want to be watching Sonic just play pinball all the time. But again, this is generally the quickest way to earn a lot of the rings and everything. Just, again, both in terms of if you want to get a good score after you deposit the rings, because again, that does mean losing all 400 rings that you need to actually access the Chaos Emerald. And again, no, you can't cheese your way past it because there's an invisible wall. But again, yeah, I think this will be the final segment, and I'll show you guys the cool Nights references. But first, it is time for another reference. Goody goody gumdrops. And this is the final thing that I wanted to show off. The vision of Nights and Sonic following each other throughout the city. Actually, you know what? Again, if Sonic was able to cross over... Actually, you know what? If Sega was able to cross over into Kingdom Hearts, I'm pretty sure Nights would probably be at the forefront of the fucking character list. Well, outside of Sonic himself, but again, you know, it's a crossover that's just waiting to happen, really. Can you tell that that I've been waiting for an appropriate time to use that reference, and I'm pretty sure I'll probably have a bunch of people complaining that I used the wrong title theme, because that one was used for a space backdrop rather than a time vortex backdrop, but I don't care. That is my favourite rendition of the theme song, save for the Big Finish 8th Doctor version. But, yeah, whatever. What the fuck is going on there? God, this game is glitch-tastic. Oh man, it's the worst game ever done aloud, because the Game Grump said so, and they're mean. Fucking Sonic sucks. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah! Hey! Oh no, the Chaos Emerald!
Oh no, you don't!
Oh, jeez! Eggman!
Oh man, what happened to that emerald we just had?
I guess Eggman's got one of them. But the other one's safe. That guy must be desperate.
That means his 2 to our 1, and that's not good. Come on, Sonic, we need to get busy!
Yeah, I apologize I'm not really talking about the story that much here, because again, really, it's just slice of life. Again, Sonic and Eggman battling it out as, like, usual, really. Anyways, you can probably tell by the part's length by this point, and I probably should have mentioned this at the beginning, but I was a little bit too consumed by my hype. Yeah, this is a 48-minute part, actually, or around 48 minutes, yeah. Basically to kick off a new year, which I probably would have done with the trailer for the Summer of Sonic Marathon, because, you know, again, I did it with the classic games, and, you know, you better believe that I was going to big up the Dreamcast era, since that's my favourite era of Sonic in the history of ever. And, yeah, man, I just wanted to kick this game off with a lot of hype, and I'm excited for this, man. Like, I mean, especially with the negativity following from Sonic Forces, I kind of needed something to kind of get me back into the spirit of Sonic, and honestly, Sonic Adventure manages to do that just with flying colours, you know? What the hell's going on with my computer? Excuse me a second while I patch this up. Okay, that seems to be running a little bit smoother now. The benefits of doing a post-commentary. I don't think I'll probably ever do a live commentary, unless, of course, I give it a test out with the DMC Devil May Cry Definitive Edition, which is something I picked up recently, thanks to my juicy Christmas bonus! Actually, I don't get a Christmas bonus. In fact, all I got for my Christmas bonus was like, $5 and a bottle of beer. Which is always nice. Would have preferred some fucking bourbon, you know, but I can't complain. In any case, it is now time for Ice Cap, which will be our final level of the game. Actually, no, it won't be our not final level of the game, you dumb shit. The final full level, I should say. We do have a couple more segments left before I conclude the part, but this level right here just completely sold me on Sonic Adventure. The music, the atmosphere, God, man. Especially in this summer itself, I can just feel the coolness of this area just cooling me down, man. And I guess it's probably fitting for American viewers since they live in the icy tundras of America where it is currently snowing. Or at the very least in some areas. In Australia it's fucking stinking hot. Ugh, so hot and sexy. No, it's not hot and sexy. Especially not for me, because it is cold. Honestly, man, the music for Sonic Adventure is just fantastic. Jun Senoi, you legend. I love you very much. Ouch. But yeah, Ice Cap. Making its return from Sonic 3, actually. Wasn't Sonic the Hedgehog 3? Yeah, it was, because it was in the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 portion of Sonic & Knuckles. Yeah, it's divided into 3 segments. There is, you know, speed, exploration, wow factor. There is the platforming segment, which is here. And then we get an awesome segment right at the tail end, which I think kind of sums up Sonic Adventure's level design philosophy. Which, again, is something that I think is actually something that I will critique in the review itself, because I feel it both works to its benefit and to its detriment. And again, something you'll notice throughout the game, because, again, I'll preface my point right now by saying that it feels like the level was designed for 3 characters in mind, and oftentimes Sonic Adventure doesn't really balance that out very well. Again, not necessarily for Sonic, well, in some cases, but it will become more noticeable as we get to characters such as Knuckles and the new robot in town, E102 Gamma. But in any case, Ice Cap. I'd say this is probably one of my favourite levels, and definitely the one where I was just kind of breathtaken by its aesthetics, especially in the first segment, man. That was just kind of beautiful. Honestly, it actually took me back to the days of playing snowboarding games on the PS1. And now we get our action sequence, snowboarding down a mountain. One which in the DX version you can apparently just, you know, snowboard backwards as I showed off. Again, not entirely sure if you can do that in the Dreamcast version. I'm gonna say no, but I could be wrong on that. Actually, I might have to go back and test that out. Oh, it'll give me an excuse to replay Sonic Adventure, again, for the billionth time. Which is actually something I've actually made into something of a yearly tradition for me. Like, I mean, every January and February, actually, pretty much at the beginning of every year, I always make sure to play and complete Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2. Again, it's just one of those things I have. It's like playing the Matrix Path of Neo. In fact, I should probably make it a list at some stage. But then again, I've already got too much to do on my plate anyway, so that'll probably be on the back burner. But goddamn, again, Sonic Adventure loves its action set pieces, and honestly, it just really makes these levels feel alive, because again, it's taking a lot of elements from Sonic and Knuckles, and again, you know, the snowboarding from Ice Cap in the original. Again, it's just taking a lot of the action set pieces, because, like, I mean, if you remember the Angel Island Zone, the egg carrier well, no, I say egg carrier for the lack of a better phrase, is the bombing run, and then, you know, the snowboarding segment in Ice Cap Zone, you know, again, it takes a lot of those set pieces and puts them in 3D, and honestly, they work just as well here as they did on the Mega Drive, and god damn, again, it's got a very frenetic pace about it, which again, Sonic Adventure somehow manages to balance the slice of life, you know, pace of the RPG-esque elements that it excised out of its original Sega Saturn incarnation, but at the same time, though, it also manages to inject a whole lot of, you know, actiony set pieces, you know, from the Mega Drive platformer that we know and love. And that's honestly where I feel that Sonic Adventure really manages to just hit home for me, you know? It's just got a lot of energy and ambition to it, honestly, and you know, you can really feel that just translate and it just bursts out of the screen, and god, to see a game like that is just mesmerizing. Anyway, we now have our next Chaos Emerald, and now we are about to run into a familiar face for those of you who enjoy the edgy rival of 1994. God damn. There was a time when Knuckles was considered the most badass dude around. Yeah, I know I'm spoiling it, but again, you pretty much saw him in the intro anyway, so I don't think there's really anything to spoil. But I mean, yeah man, Knuckles used to be the cool kid, and like, he's been kind of phased out to the idiot rate. Well, again, that's kind of been excised since Sonic Forces, since, you know...
What's up, Knuckles? Something bugging you? No time for games, Sonic. Give me the emeralds you have, right now! What? Let's just see you take them! Huh.
Anyway, what I was going to say was that it's basically been excised since Sonic Forces, since they made him into a resistance leader, but anyway. Oh my god, it's the meme time, oh no, because it's funny. Yeah, fun fact, that was actually not an original line recorded for this fight. That was actually taken from the E3 1998 international demo of Sonic Adventure, which was actually taken from his first cutscene. Fun fact for you.
Oh no! The Chaos Emeralds! Ha 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 ha!
Eggman! Uh-oh! Ha! Like taking candy from a baby!
That's a Chaos Emerald!
That's right, fool! You made it all too easy! You practically gave them to me!
Hold it right there, creep! You can't get away with this! Knuckles, don't tell me Eggman tricked you again! Me? What about you? Way to go, Knucklehead!
Now I have 4 lovely emeralds! Chaos! These are for you, my friend!
transformed again!
Man, no one ever cuts us any slack.
And now we get to one of the more draggier parts of the boss fights. Like, I mean, again, generally, I suppose the point of criticism for a lot of people is that the boss fights in Sonic Adventure... Wow. Damn. Whoops. Again, I got... Fuck, well that immediately shot my point in the ass, because I was about to say that the boss fights in Sonic Adventure are generally quite pish, but... I mean, fuck, man. You know, Chaos 4 just kicked my ass. Admittedly, though, Chaos 4 is probably on the more challenging end, but again, I think the biggest thing about this boss fight is that it does tend to drag a fair bit. Which, again, like, I mean, it's not necessarily to say that the boss is very challenging, even despite the death just there. But more so that, you know, it's generally a lot of waiting around, dodging attacks, and just trying to get it down, which, again, it's basic, and it does what it sets out to do, but it isn't really anything, you know, as exciting as some of the action set pieces that you would have seen previously, like in the case of the Ice Cap chase. But that being said, though, it's alright. In fact, I'd say, honestly, Tails probably has a better time with this boss fight since, you know, the health bar is a lot lessened, which implies that Tails is incredibly strong and can kick Chaos 4's ass, even though he cowered in fear because he'd lost it in Sonic Forces. A story element that didn't need to be there because pish English localization. But again, I've got to stop talking about Sonic Forces, this won't be negative. This is time for Sonic Adventure, which is a fantastic game, even despite of some of the glitches you might have seen earlier. Again, might not be the most polished, but goddamn do I have my fun with this. Anyway, one last hit, and again, this is an actual area you can visit, like, in the hub world, but it isn't anywhere this deep, which is a little bit weird. In fact, this area in the hub world only exists so you can get a special Chow egg. Which I never really bothered with, because I honestly kind of prefer the normal Chow. I think it's the silver Chow egg you can get here, actually. Or is it the gold? No, it's the silver one, because you get the gold one in one of Eggman's bases, I think. Come on, Chaos. Reveal yourself to me so I may destroy you, and you will not fire water at me. It's kind of weird that the water texture actually changes, because again, you could saw that it was actually a crystal blue look, but now it's more of like a general hue that you'd expect it to be in a lake. I don't know, quite strange. There we go. Thank goodness. And now the water is purified, which I guess Chaos was polluting the water. Environmentalism, yay? Oh well, I mean... Actually no, I don't even need to say something for this next cutscene, because it's just the egg carrier flying over the city. Yeah, which is actually a pretty intimidating shot in my opinion. Handled silently, and you don't need any dramatic score to it. Again, it's just Eggman's badass ship, which again, this is... In terms of Eggman's ship design, this is probably my favourite out of all of his aircraft carriers. I don't know, man, the egg carrier just looks badass, man. If I was to own a spaceship, I'd like to have that one.
Behold my floating masterpiece, the egg carrier! But it pales in comparison to the power of chaos. Adieu, until we meet again, my friends!
Hey, we can't let him get away! Let's get to my workshop and we'll take the tornado!
Yeah!
You guys go. I have some unfinished business to take care of.
No problem, Knuckles. We'll take care of everything here.
Come on! Let's get going!
Anyway, we are now back with more Sonic Adventure. Funny, I probably should have said that for a later segment, but yeah. Now we get to see the loving return of the Tornado 1. And yes, I am going to talk over this cutscene because really it's just the whole getting the ship ready segment. And there's also something that I actually want to point out in this little segment as well, because I just noticed the model changes. Anyway, just walking across, and again, it's kind of weird for the Tornado, because, like, I mean, you'll see the original red design that was there from the classic games here, before, you know, again, they'll eventually switch out to the Tornado 2, which is the blue design that they used for a majority of the Dreamcast era, up until Sonic Heroes, where it was actually, no, I think it was, like, Shadow the Hedgehog, where it was destroyed. Then they switched back to the Tornado 1 in Sonic the Hedgehog... no, it's not Sonic the Hedgehog, in Sonic Unleashed, which is quite weird, because, like, that's just weird. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's meant to be the Tornado 3, but, timeline is confusing. But anyway, that's enough talking about the timeline, because again, look at the model changes here. I think you can already kind of see it with Tails, but just look at Sonic when he hops on the plane. Yeah, looking a bit classically proportioned right there. In fact, that's something that'll actually become a little bit more noticeable once you get onto the level itself. But yeah, those are actually retextured Sonic R models, which, again, contrary to popular belief, they were not designed specifically by Traveler's Tales, I believe. I believe they were actually designed by members of Sonic Team. As you could tell by the more Toei-esque design. I say Toei for the lack of a better word, but that's mostly because they were the anime company that designed Sonic on Sonic CD, and Actually, yeah, I think Studio Period Poirot, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's the same company that made the Sonic OVA and Naruto as well, I believe. But yeah, if you look at Sonic's model, you can see his quills are a lot more sparked up, and his proportions are a little bit more in tune with classic Sonic. Which I suppose while we're busy playing the Sky Chase game I could actually get into, which, in terms of character designs, I'd say while most of the characters were designed more or less to have relatively the same as how they are now with, you know, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, and especially that of, like, you know, Dr. Eggman and everything. Again, they all look relatively the same, consistent with their, you know, more recent incarnations. Well, save for a few games here and there, but in terms of Sonic's design, one design element that I really like, and I'm not sure whether or not this was intentional, or, you know, a side effect of the fact that this game was initially meant for the Sega Saturn, you know, starring Sonic and his classic designer and everything, but, you know, the adventure design of Sonic, and I say specifically for Sonic Adventure 1, is that, again, while he is, you know, he has the green eyes, the longer quills, and everything like that, you know, especially the shoes as well, excuse me, there is one design element I like, and that's kind of like the pudge. Like, I mean, it's definitely obvious that Sonic has lost a little bit of weight in between, you know, Sonic and Knuckles and now, but at the same time, though, he's still a little bit stubby, but he, you know, he's not quite, you know, the chubby little speedster that he was in the classic games, but at the same time, he's not quite as lanky as he would be in games like Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic Heroes, which, again, is a nice little intermediary thing, which even if, you know, unintentional, it's an attention to detail that I do love. Anyway, this is also a breather minigame, as I probably should have mentioned earlier. Again, it's nothing too hard unless, of course, you're unless, of course, you're just staying still. Just make sure you dodge the bombs and lasers and get a high score, I guess, if you're trying to go for all the emblems. And you should be pretty fine, which is another thing I could bring up with the emblems. You're not actually ranked in your performance just yet. In fact, you know, you actually have 3 specific mission tiers. Again, it's nothing, you know, Shadow the Hedgehog, so if you're worrying about, you know, having to kill X amount of enemies, don't worry about that. It's just about, you know, getting to the end of the stage, completing stage with a spare amount of rings, and of course, you know, just completing it at a faster time limit, I believe. There you can get a good look at Sonic's classic, in quotation marks, design. Anyway, that's all we have time for this magnum opus of a Sonic Adventure commentary. I will see you next time. I am Skully, keep it new metal. And next time in the Sonic Adventure commentary, whilst Tails and Sonic survive, find out next time. Catch you then.